My boyfriend resents me. My boyfriend resents me because I told him about my trauma. My trauma includes my previous toxic relationship where I had been SA'd plus a myriad of childhood issues. I have been in therapy for 3 to 4 years now. For context, my friend had made a joke about SA and under my breath I regrettably said, "Been there, done that." My BF heard. Later that night he asked about it and I told him. I told him about it. For months I wish I never did. I regret it. Our arguments stemmed from that. That was the common denominator for most of them. He resents me for telling him, and honestly, I don't really blame him at all. I feel absolutely horrible. If I had known this would be the outcome, I'd have never said anything. I have this unwavering guilt and I just want to fix this so badly. We're on a break, gone no contact. I feel absolutely awful. I love him to death and I did this. I hurt him by telling him about my past. Has anyone else gone through this? How did you navigate it? I regret my plastic surgery. This is definitely going to get buried under thousands and thousands of other posts, but I have absolutely no one to talk to about this and it's been weighing very heavily on my chest. Growing up, I saw my mother get plastic surgery and how normalized it was for her. Don't like something? Fix it. I got my nose done and I deeply regret it now. It's not filler, it's something irreversible done to my face. I used to have my natural nose, yes, it was weirdly shaped, and I had a deviated septum, but it was my natural nose. Now I have an implant and I haven't pinched or moved my nose with my fingers since getting the surgery a year ago because I'm scared I'll mess it up. I feel stupid for not telling the surgeon I didn't want a silicone implant. I wish I didn't hate myself so much to the point of unnecessarily going under the knife and permanently changing a part of myself. I wish I had someone close to me I could confide in before getting plastic surgery to persuade me not to do it or support me through it. I got the surgery all alone, and I was alone during the recovery, in a whole other country. No one knows I did it. No one even noticed. Only thing I can do now is vow to never change anything about myself and learn to love myself. People don't see you the way that you do. People do not nitpick your looks like you do when you look in the mirror. You do not need to change your looks permanently. Cultivate your personality. Take care of yourself. Do not do something that you are going to regret. Live for you. Live for your happiness, not for other people's approval. I love him, I don't know what to do, and there are words I want to say but can't. So I will share here. I apologize if it's hectic. I never thought I could ever feel romantic love for a person. I've accepted that for years and became okay with that fact. However, upon meeting him, I was proven wrong, LOL. I thought I had all these walls built up for a reason, but apparently they decided to crumble as I got closer to him. And now, I find that I'm okay with that. I love spending time with him, and I love learning more about him. I want to find new ways to make him laugh or make new inside jokes. I want to learn about the flaws in himself he's most ashamed of and to love them tenderly. I'd choose him in a room of crowded people. He's so beautiful, Lucifer must be seething in jealousy. I can't stay upset at him for long, man's got egregious sass. I just hope he knows how wonderful he is, because he inspires me to become a better person. I'd give him the stars if possible. His strength and resilience gives me hope. Hearing what he came out of and seeing how far he's grown is something he should be so proud of. I hope whoever he ends up with will love him as he deserves, and better than the last. I don't want to progress anything. I don't think that's what he's looking for in general. I just hope I can be a good friend to him while he is in my life. I secretly resent my friends I have watched as over the past 10 years they have passed me and overtaken me in every single aspect of life. They have everything while I barely have anything. They have partners, good jobs, their own places, everything. Meanwhile, I have next to nothing. I've never had a decent job like they have. I have applied to every single hiring business in a 20-mile radius of where I live over the past year, but I almost never get an interview. And if I do, I never get the job. I don't have a criminal record. I have been steadily employed since I was 16, never been fired, and I have many well-known professional references as well as a degree from a trade school. My friends barely even had to lift a finger and suddenly they got jobs sometimes, not even a week after applying, and they started off making $56,000, $62,000 a year, which is a very high salary where I live. I barely make $15,000 a year, and I still live with my parents because I can't afford to move out. I have applied at the same exact jobs that my friends work at, and I don't even get so much as a phone call. They're my friends, and I want to be happy for them being successful, but I can't help but feel resentment towards them. Can't I have just 30 minutes where it's about me? I've been taking karate for about 2 years, and tonight I got my red belt. They have a 30-minute presentation where everyone leveling up has to show off what they learned and belts are presented. I came home from work to have my husband tell me that he had a call scheduled right in the middle of the presentation, but he'd just sneak outside and watch through the windows. The kids didn't seem to care either, so I said they should all just stay home then, since they clearly didn't want to come. Well, my husband bribed my son with screen time later if he went, then my daughter decided to join at the last minute. So now they both came and he stayed home for his call. My kids were on my daughter's phone almost the whole time, which I found disrespectful and rude. I was so embarrassed, but there's not much I could do from the floor. When we got home, I was angry. My husband blamed me, asking why I didn't seat them in a less visible spot. Why did I let my daughter have her phone, and didn't I tell them how to behave beforehand? They sat themselves. She said she wanted to take pictures, and I gave explicit instructions that it could only be used for pictures. Honestly, I feel so disrespected, like my family couldn't spare 30 minutes where the focus was on me and my accomplishment. I'm hurt that my husband prioritized his phone call, then manipulated the situation so I would have to be responsible for the kids during this. I'm disappointed that my kids are so selfish that they can't focus on someone else for 30 minutes. I want to cry. I'm so sad and angry. I hate being pretty. I am conventionally pretty, and I hate it so much. I'm writing this primarily because today, while grocery shopping, I got followed around the store by a guy who wouldn't leave me alone, and I had to have security escort me to my car. I just moved to a new city that's full of people my age, 20s, and I'm doing things on my own for the first time in my life. I was very sheltered as a kid. People won't leave me alone. I can't eat at a restaurant by myself, and I just learned I can't even go shopping by myself. Men will bother me. Even when I had headphones on and eyes on my phone, a guy tapped my shoulder and started talking to me. I'm sick of it. I used to be ugly before I went through a growth spurt, and I miss it so much. I'm used to being asked out as a joke, not by people who are genuinely interested. I feel kind of bad for the guys who ask me out because I'm not, and probably never will be, interested in dating. Not to mention, they assume things about me that are far from true. I'm not particularly nice, mainly just gloomy, and I'm not talkative. I definitely don't put out, had a guy at a party hit on me because he apparently thought I would screw him. I don't know exactly what kind of impression pretty girls give off, but I'm sure it doesn't match who I actually am. I smile a lot, but that's just because I work in hospitality, so it's more of a reflex at this point. The worst part about it is that everyone around me either approves of their actions or criticizes me for being cold. I called my mom while the guy was following me around the store and repeatedly bothering me for my number, after I said no multiple times, and she just said that she respected his persistence and that I should just go along with it. I told my friends later, and they said I was making a mountain out of a molehill and should have just given him a fake number. I don't want men's attention. I'm trying to live my life, but they keep bothering me and continue to bother me after I say no. I can't really change my face, and I don't want to get an ugly piercing or something like that because I'm really scared of needles, but I just wish I could be left alone. It took a super long time for me to finally be happy with the way I look. I grew out of my awkwardness and started eating healthier and exercising. If this is what I get for learning how to take care of myself, I wish I hadn't even tried.